guys, it's Mari, and this week Kelly and I have another challenge for you. We are issuing a challenge and challenged each other to use at least 3 stencils on our layout this week. So what I'm doing here is I've placed my white cardstock in a box and I have placed my stencil over top of that, and I'm just taking a bunch of different colors of Color Shine and I'm going to create the background colors for my layout. So I am actually scrapbooking a picture of my son and I at a museum, an art museum in Paris, and it is a very modern art museum. It's the George Pompidou Center, and so I'm creating a bit of a theme about art for this layout. And the first stencil that I used is very much an abstract kind of look. And then what I did was I took a text stencil and some texture paste over top of that, and that stencil it's all about art. And I guess it's kind of like the impact of art is sort of the theme of that stencil. And now I'm taking some Shimmer's Dazzlers and I'm creating 3 sections of texture using this other stencil, this third stencil, and I'm creating 3 different types of texture in 3 different areas to kind of create a triangular pattern. So that I know that I want to put my photo mat in the area that's sort of like in that center of that triangle. And so in that way, I won't cover up the texture paste when I go to put my photo mat together. So I'm using kind of an orange texture paste, a light pink, which is what you see me using here on this kind of drippy looking texture. And then I also used yellow Dazzlers for that bottom area. Now you can see that I've sized my white paper down with all of my pattern on it, and I have rounded the corners. I've also mounted it onto an orange colored patterned cardstock, just because I thought that was really striking, and I think that it really adds a nice frame around that, a nice plain frame but dark, just to kind of add a bit of an accent color around that really colorful base for my layout. And I've also created a little pocket there for this tag, which I showed you, and that tag is for some hidden journaling because I won't be able to get all of my journaling on the little journaling card that I add on the layout. So now I have that all stuck down to a piece of Chamel Starshine patterned paper that I just love the tone of green there, and it really adds a nice frame around the layout. And so now I'm all ready to go with creating the rest of the layout. So I have my photograph here printed. It's in black and white, and it's a little bit longer than it is wide. It's not a perfect square. What I wanted to just show you here is how you can create your own patterned paper, your own personalized pattern paper using a stencil or a number of stencils and a number of different products to create your own very personalized and unique pattern paper. And I was just comparing it to that Pink Paisley Fancy Free pattern paper, just so that you could see that you can make your own pattern paper. You don't always have to buy it. You can make it exactly how you want it. Now I'm taking a variety of different sizes of pattern papers here that I've cut in the same tones and colors from the layout, and I'm going to use that as my photo mat for my photograph here. So now you can see the photo that I've printed out and the dimensions of that photo. And so I was thinking of the dimensions of the photo when I cut these pattern papers, and I want to leave some space around the photo mat as well for some embellishments. So I've made the photo mat papers a little bit larger than the actual photo. So what I'm doing here is I'm just trying to eyeball how I want the pattern papers to overlap each other so that you still will be able to see all of the different colors in the layers. And I'm just going to staple those together so that I don't lose track of where those are. And you will soon see me sticking that down to the base of the layout. Now I'm going to just offset my photograph a little bit here just because I think that looks a little bit more interesting. I'm going to have it on an angle, and I'm going to take this 4x3 journaling card from a Chamel Starshine cut apart sheet, and that is what I am going to use for some of my journaling. The rest of my journaling will be on that tag that's up at the top in that hidden journaling pocket. So I'm going to just take a little bit of time to get these things stuck down. And you'll notice that I do use some liquid adhesive to stick down anything that's going to be sticking to that mixed media, just because it's a lot more effective in staying put. The tape runner doesn't tend to stick very well to things like the Dazzlers and Color Shine and that sort of thing. So I'm actually going to just stick some liquid glue in behind that layer there, just to make sure that it doesn't end up falling off in the album. And so I'll just give that a really good push down there so that it stays stuck. And now I'll start working on the layers for the photograph. Now I've used a bunch of different ephemera and die cut pieces from a variety of different collections, including Chanel Starshine collection and the Crate Paper Wonder collection. I attempt to use some chipboard on this layout, but as I've said in previous videos, I think I am chipboard challenged. I don't end up using that larger, thicker piece of chipboard at the bottom there, but I do end up using this little one here that says "So Happy." And I really do like the thinner chipboard than as opposed to the thicker stuff. So that thinner one is from the Chanel Starshine collection, and I do end up using that for sure. I take the one from the Crate Paper Wonder collection off of there. Now, as I promised, I am going to do some layering up at the top there. I just use a variety of different tags and some tickets and little bits and pieces. You'll see that I'm just offsetting them, making some higher and some lower and so on, just to make it look a little more interesting, leaving that longest piece of pattern paper sticking out at the top, and just layering it up so that it looks interesting and adding some detail. So I'm just going to get those things stuck down, and you'll see me add a little flare from the Chanel Starshine collection. I think I actually do add that chipboard arrow into the layout. Shockingly, I actually leave a thick piece of chipboard on the layout, which is shocking for me. I'm also going to add some black ink splatters onto the layout, and I also use a foam word thicker in the word lucky to finish off the layout. So that's about it for my layout this week, guys. Kelly and I are challenging you to get out those stencils and do some stencil work on your layouts. It's a lot of fun to use a stencil. You can add some really cool detail and some interest to your layouts in that way, personalizing your layout to exactly how you want it. Check out the link to Kelly's video and in the description section below. Go on over to her channel and check out what she did with her stencils this week. Thanks so much, and join us next time for Scrap the Challenge. Bye-bye.